Y'all, I am really hollering because Helena really asked Aemon, was it worth the price? Was it worth the price? And Aemon's looking down at his debit card like, of course it was worth the price. It just came out my account. Like, I don't even mind. Like, I got what I paid for. All right, so before we get into the video, I would just like to say, first of all, thank you all so much for 10,000 subscribers. That's so wild to celebrate. I would just like to let you know that my Patreon page is live. It's up. There you'll get Patreon exclusive videos, okay? One is already up there. I did a video talking about 10 cool shows that I think y'all need to watch. They're underrated. You probably have not heard of them, but I really, really enjoyed them. Only the patrons will be able to see that video. It's already up on my page. You'll get access to behind the scenes content, vote on the content topics. Also on Patreon, I did a dramatic reading of an excerpt of my upcoming book that will be self-published. It is a sequel, by the way, to Xeraxia Wrath of the God King. It's called Xeraxia, The Vengeance of Coldwind. It will be out later this year. I'm going to make an audiobook of it as well. So the dramatic reading that is on Patreon is just to get a feel for what the audiobook will sound like. So yeah, very excited. Like I said, reaching 10K subs is really, really amazing. Can't thank y'all enough. And yeah. All right, y'all. So to me, this was the weakest episode so far. Like, I knew that we were going to come down after the big battle in episode 4. But some of the things going on in this episode, I'm like, huh? Especially like going on with Daemon. I'm like, okay. Like, I would definitely like to be excluded from this narrative. Whatever you got going on with your mom and your head, Daemon. Definite. And the writers, y'all got to see me because somebody made the decision to put that shit in front of me. No shade. And it's like, I already know it's Targaryens. Whatever. Okay, let's get into it. We open up with Driftmark, right? And I would just like to say, Mr. Dujwadi, Ramin, you are eating these scores up as per usual. Ain't nobody doubting your talent at this point. Like, but I just love the Driftmark theme is so much fun. Every theme is fun. Like, y'all already know what I'm gonna say. Whatever. But the music is amazing. Either way, Corlys is going through it. It's just like I know that he's thinking, girl, I'm a low down, dirty, cheating bastard. I was giving Rhaenyra's attitude the last fight we had. We barely had the chance to say goodbye. Like, he's going through it. Rhaenyra's going through it. Everybody's mourning at this point. Dragonstone looks so pretty, by the way. Like, I love it. And speaking of mess, we see that the Greens, I guess this was the decision of Sir Criston Cole. I guess he thought he was somebody's Otto just because you had the hand of the king. Just because you are the hand of the king now, don't mean that you are anybody's, like, mastermind, Cole. Like, don't mean that you are anybody's Otto. And I cannot believe that I'm saying this, but I'm like, yeah. Y'all, really, the backbone of y'all strategy was Otto in a lot of ways. Sir Criston Cole out here marching Maylee's head around because, I mean, they gonna need good PR, especially if they bringing the king back in a box. they bring the king back in a wheelbarrow, girl. Like, y'all gonna need some PR at this point. So they talk about some. Behold the traitor dragon Maylee's slain at Rook's Rest by your king. Girl, where is the king? Can he stand up? If you're Aegon, please stand up. That's Aegon. We would like to see your face, girl. Is given very much when Miss Mama's from the royal family. What's her name? Oh my gosh, one of them princesses, whatever, disappeared. Everybody's like, girl, she dead? Girl, where's Aegon at? Oh, her name Kate. Y'all know, I think her name Kate. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Where's Aegon? We want to know what we want to see him. Girl, I hate seeing Maylee's like this. Like, Sir Criston Cole, you are nasty. You're going to get what's coming to you. The small folk are looking like, whoa, that's crazy. They're not having the reaction that Sir Criston Cole wanted them to have. Sir Criston Cole's like, don't they realize we won the battle? And Gwen's gay ass is like, well, strange victory if it was one. And it's just like, yeah, girl, because now we switch to Aegon being carried around like he's in his casket. Do you hear me? And they ain't have no shocks in their tires, bitch. No suspension system, girl. That is a cart and a horse. Do you hear what I'm saying? No, that is a cart and a horse. There is no You know what I mean? 4-wheel drive, no power steering fluid, wooden wheels. Do you hear what I'm saying? And Aegon is feeling every pebble, every piece of gravel on that unpaved road while his body's broken. If he's like half awake, you know what I mean? They say, the Masons say they don't know this bitch gonna wake up. Rhaenys got y'all good. Do you hear what I'm saying? So here go Hugh Hammer, girl. You already know. Ain't nobody... When somebody owe you money, you come quick, honey. You like, what's the tea? You was like, bitch, I done did all this fucking work as an independent contractor. My 1099 coming through. Like, girl, what's the tea? I need this. I need the coin. Like, he's trying to see what the tea is. But this guy here beside him said, I thought the dragons was gods. Well, guess what? Olympus has fallen. I could tell you that. I could tell you that. So it's like, while the Greens are over here fighting this battle, they're actually diminishing the fear that some of the people have of these dragons and Targaryens, because it's like, well, dragons are dead. We ain't see no dragon. Like, you cutting off the heads of dragons and stuff. Like, now we getting a little shook. I thought House Targaryen was that girl. Like, I thought, they're sullying their own legacy and their own power, I would say, like in King's Landing. Cole, you really thought that you were somebody's Kris Jenner. You thought you was going to eat that PR girl, and it ate you up. I love this shot of the rat catchers here, almost like they're saying to Aegon, like, hey girl, seem like you about to be one of us in a second. So Alicent and Aemon here are watching Aegon's broken body be brought back to the castle. Oh yes, that's a tongue twister, a little alliteration. Aegon's broken body be brought back, bitch. Do you hear what I'm saying? Aemon seems like he's thrilled. I mean, chest out, chin up. I mean, held high. Alicent's looking at him like, girl, the fuck going on with his weird ass? Alicent's just so hopeless with these kids. They are all a mess, except Helena. Like, protect Helena at all costs, but like, you just looking at these kids, all you can do is just look at them like they weird, which they are, but still. So yeah, Alicent immediately catches that Aemon is feeling his pussy a little too much. Like, she done seen that Aemon snatched up this dagger, Aegon dagger. So it's just Alicent catching tea. Girl, so they bring Aegon ass through the Red Keep like some fresh meat off the grill being served by waiters at a restaurant. Meleys cut that meat up, and then Vhagar lit the fire. Vhagar grilled that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Meleys got that knife out. She cut that shit up. She said, this real good. She licked her fingers. Then she passed it on to Vhagar. Vhagar turned on that grill, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Meat. We having grilled sunfire and Aegon for dinner today, dude. The blacks, we are dancing. We are dancing on the would-be grave, on the almost grave of Aegon II. Now, I love Helena's look here because it's almost as if she's like seen all this before. Like, she's like, well, of course, I've seen this. Am I dreaming right now? Am I seeing a future right now? Or is this the real? It just looks like she's definitely seen this before. Alicent's walking in here when they lifted his ass out. Like, girl, is he even alive? The Maester was like, yeah, for the moment. And I was just like, oh my God, the metal burned into his skin. He bleeding. I'm telling you, it's grilled Aegon. Like, all it's missing some seasoning. Alicent's like, oh my God, like, is he gonna die? The Maester's like, girl, yeah, if you keep on interrupting us, could you move back? Could you back up? Aemon's looking at Alicent like, well, someone will have to rule in his stead. I'm just like, wow, Aemon's not even being sly with it or anything. He's just like, girl, can I have the seat now? Can I have the Iron Throne now? Like, girl, it's okay. Y'all taking, y'all trying to help, mend his broken bones and, help him not feel all this nasty ass burns on his skin. That's great. But can we get to the Iron Throne, please? I was like, damn, Aemon, you ain't gonna wait for Tuesday. He didn't wait no amount of time. That while they're dragging him in, he's about to sit on the throne. That's crazy as hell to me. So Alicent's walking in on Cole mad as hell, right? She's trying to get down to the truth of it. Like, what was Aemon's part in this? And Cole's just like, girl, I don't know. Move on. Just move on about your business, girl. Like, we just took the castle. Shit happens. You already know. He was inexperienced. That's it. And it's like, all right, Alicent definitely knows Aemon has something to do with it. So, girl, we switched to the Black Council. And, like, Sir Alfred is really... We gonna have to fight. Like, he's gonna have to see my hands. He's gonna have to see... I wanted to jump inside my TV, bitch, and beat his ass. I sure did. Here comes Sir Alfred, rude ass. But whatever, he's making points. We lost our largest dragon. Cole's marching around. Duskendale and Rook's Rest are gone. We have no ground army. The only army we have is the one, the one that Daemon can possibly get to us, but, Daemon's now left us after some marital spat. And see, that's what I'm saying with Sir Alfred nasty ass. He always do way too much, girl. You couldn't just say, hey, girl, I'm really concerned. We ain't got this shit. Like, we ain't got no army. Castle's falling. Cole is marching around like Damon's not here. That's all you had to say, bro. Like, if you were really that concerned, that's all you had to say. He talking about some marital spat this, marital spat that. Bitch, I will beat your ass in here. Sir Alfred, I will beat your ass in here, bitch, and feed your ass, not even to side. I would get Baela to have Moondancer chomp on your motherfucking legs. Oh, don't try me, bitch. Are you serious? And even the other people on the council were just like, oh my God, why the hell did he say that? Finally, Rhaenyra's like, boy, you don't like me or something. It seemed like you don't like me. Like, what's up? And unsurprisingly, his problem is essentially that she's a woman, so he thought it was smart to just call her out in front of everyone and be sexist. I don't know. He's essentially like, y'all women don't know nothing about war, and y'all are the sensitive sex and the delicate sex. Rhaenyra was like, girl, both you and I lived through peacetime. If I ain't seen no war, then you ain't seen no war either, boy. Sit down. Sit down, girl. Sit down. She did sun his ass a little bit, but let me tell you something. I want to tell y'all something. There's absolutely no way Rhaenyra should have such a loose-ass cannon on her council. And it's one thing if the bitch gonna say the shit behind Rhaenyra back. Like, that's one thing. If you talking shit behind my back and shit, like, that's fine. But, bitch, you're standing up in a council talking about you're a woman, sit your ass down, we gonna handle this shit. Bitch, heads would have been rolling if I was Rhaenyra. I promise you that. Because that's the second, third, fourth, fifth time that your ass, Sir Alfred, I'm going to beat your ass. Oh, my God, I'm getting so mad. Think about Sir Alfred's silly ass. This is the second, third, fourth, fifth time that your ass has stood up and said something crazy like you ain't speaking to a Targaryen, but like the old blood of Valyria, bitch. I will son you in this, bitch. You even had some slick shit to say to Baela. Sir Alfred, I'm on your ass. I'm on your ass. But yeah, I think they getting real slick at the mouth. And I think that, especially you come into this shit as a woman, you would have probably had to chop one or two of them bitches' heads off before you even started really getting into the war to get their ass in line. Like, I get it, they're trying to show, well, oh, this is the kind of shit that she has to deal with as a woman ruler. Like, I'm sure that's what the showrunners or whatever, but at some point it starts to get a little preposterous to even have someone like that on your council. Daemon chopped bitches up for less. I would have kicked Sir Alfred ass off that council that day, bitch. Like, this is getting too much. Or I would have had that's the bare minimum. I should have your fucking head for treason. I should chop that. And I should post it at the entrance of whichever hall we end with the great table, so that y'all bitches know don't play with me. I'm gonna put your head on a spike at the entrance of the motherfucking meeting room. It's just like, at this point, Sir Alfred, you lucky you messing with Rhaenyra and not Tywin and not. Do you see what I'm saying to you? I would have chopped that head off. Like, and I mean, I know she's probably thinking about this guy and his house to insert my father, and we connected and all that shit. But you gonna have to shut the fuck up, bro. You're gonna have to shut up. If I didn't chop his head off, I would have at least had the next council meeting in the den with the dragons and be like, look, all I got to do is say Dracarys one time and you bitches are dead. So if y'all want to try me in a council meeting, we can have the rest of the meetings down in the den. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, y'all. Because I spent so much time with Sir Alfred, but he really pissed me off. So whatever, they talking over Rhaenyra and shit, and finally Rhaenyra says, I'm going to strike at King's Landing. If I have to do it, I'm going to do it. Y'all talking about striking before Vhagar is recovered. Then if that's the case, then I'm going to have to do it. And they protest, but she was just like, okay, what else would y'all have me do? It's like, y'all looking at me like, would y'all tell Aegon the fucking Conqueror not to go out there and do some shit? And it's like, yes, I know that he has experience in battle and blah, blah, blah. And Balerion was out there, a war dragon, and Cyrax just been sitting down. Like, I get it. But I think Rhaenyra's point is valid because she says it here at the council meeting and also to Jace at the end of the episode, like people fighting and dying in my name. Like, I'm going, at some point, I'm gonna have to get my ass up and fight and do something, And so, like, I get it. All right, so we cut to Baela and Jace is really walking around with his chest out, right? Like, he's like, I'm
girl, I'm going to Harrenhal to get Daemon in check. The fuck he doing out there? We don't know if he got no army. He ain't raised no army. If he's still loyal to my mama around here, walking around here dizzy as hell, boy. I'm going to check on Daemon, bro, and I'm going to make sure he get that shit in line, bro. I'm going to pull up to Harrenhal, and Baela's like, Baela, she said, she pumped the brakes, bitch. Baela said, now, girl, I know you feeling really pussy and cunt right now. I know you feeling your oaths. But if Rhaenyra couldn't get Daemon weird ass together, what make you think that he can? And I'm his daughter sitting here. He just left my ass to drag. Like if Rhaenyra can't get herself together, get his ass together. What makes you think, Jace, that you finna go around there and tell Daemon to bend no knee or whatever? Like, babe, it's Daemon. Come on now. Love you so much, baby. Love you so much. But it is Daemon we talk about. But then, of course, Jace raises this point like, well, my mom sent you out on your dragon. She keeps me here like I'm some baby. It's really embarrassing. I need to do something. I can't just sit here. He says, oh, wait, I can go to the phrase. And I heard that word and I cringed. I'm like, oh, my God, here come the phrase. Weird asses again. And, of course, with the twins and the crossing again. I'm just like, yo, we just need to... what Jace should have done was call down Vermax on that bridge and been like, yo, what's the tea? What's the tea? But yeah, he was just like, we're gonna go to the twins and see what the tea is over there, make sure the phrase can give the Greybeards crossing since they march in south. Like, we wouldn't need to wait on Daemon's army or whatever. And Baela's like, Rhaenyra ain't gonna like that shit. And Jason's like, girl, just don't tell her. Just don't tell her. And I was like, girl, y'all know that ain't gonna last, right? I'm sure Rhaenyra already. I mean, clearly she told, because she knew you had left when y'all was arguing in the beginning. So it's just like, now you got Baela lying for you. I just love that Jace just gives me so much young Rhaenyra. Like, he just gives me how Rhaenyra was acting when she was younger. Anyway, I absolutely love seeing Caraxes anytime, anywhere. Like, I just love seeing them. Here, Daemon is trying to force House Bracken to bend the knee, but they're just like, girls suck my dick. We ain't bending any knees around here. Now, I thought that an off-screen Dracarys was implied at first, especially because Daemon was like, I didn't think they'd be so eager to die, but we found out that he did not, because he says he needs swords and not corpses. And I was very surprised that he didn't just Dracarys they asses, at least the leadership of that shit, of y'all house or whatever, and then go get the rest of y'all. But I don't know. I think it would have been fun, especially since we barely got dragons in this episode, if we just saw a Dracarys, and just give him like them saying, oh, we'll take the fire, we'll take the flame. I don't know. I wanted him to burn their ass up. But either way, he's just like, okay, well, I need swords, not corpses. I need men like them. And he essentially gives House Blackwood just authority to do heinous shit to try and get them, House Bracken, to bend the knee. Lady Jane Eyre here, she's talking to Rhaena about how impregnable the Eyrie is, except for, if it's descended upon from the sky. She's like, y'all want 15,000 swords? I need a dragon. Rhaena's like, well, girl, you got 2. It's fine. They'll grow in time. Jane's like, girl, I don't have no time. She's like, I miss like feeling powerless. And then they kind of smile here. And Rhaena's like, so do I. I don't know. This kind of reminded me of when Arya met Tywin and they had this like kind of, interesting connection there. Either way, I would, hopefully that's not the last time we see Jane Eyre, like, because it's a very valid response to be like, okay, well, these dragons are babies or they're eggs and they ain't finna protect me right now. Like, so it's a very valid thing that I don't think can just be brushed off by like Rhaena and Jane Eyre just like bonding off the fact that they both feel powerless. I'm like, girl, yeah, I mean, it's a very valid thing to be still concerned about your safety when you only got tiny ass dragons. So like, I get it. So Rhaenyra's talking to Mysaria, like they're having some girl talk. Rhaenyra hates the way the men talk around her and not to her on the council. She says they want to keep her there locked up, fight the war themselves, just keep her as a figurehead. And she's like, I want to actually like fight. She brings up the point that Viserys didn't teach her how to fight. She said, if I was a boy, a sword would have been thrust into my hand from the moment I could walk. And, she's like, the council knows that. They know how girls are raised. They know that I'm ill-prepared in certain regards. But then Mysaria asks if she's going to text Daemon. Like, at this point, maybe you got to double, triple text them. And Rhaenyra was like, girl, I need to stand on my own 2 feet if I'm trying to be queen. F him, whatever he doing over there. Then Mysaria was like, Sir Criston Cole actually was dumb as hell for parading the head of a dragon throughout the streets. Like we were saying earlier, especially since we saw that one guy say, oh, I thought the Targs were gods. Like, I thought the dragons were gods. Mysaria is real about the situation in King's Landing. She's like, bread is scarce. The king has fallen. People are saying that they had a better time, more peaceful time in the kingdom when Viserys was alive. Mysaria is just like, don't worry. Your people will come to you. Relax. Just delegate your tasks. There is more than one way to fight a war. Now, since Mysaria was over there doing them that creeping last time when they were having the council meeting, Black Council meeting, I'm just like, girl, why were you creeping in the shadows instead of actually being there if you're like the mistress of whispers or whatever? But I'm just like, I really like that Mysaria is setting things in motion and but I'm just like, this is Game of Thrones. I don't know if I should trust her ass. That's just it. I want to. It's really beautiful. The girl talk, love that. But because it's Game of Thrones, like, I don't know if I should trust Mysaria as far as I could throw her. I love that we get to see Rhaenyra and Baela talk about the night that Rhaenys claimed her dragon. I love that. And how Daemon was mad about it because Meleys didn't bend her neck to him, but to Rhaenys instead. Now, Rhaenyra gives something to Baela to give to Corlys. We find out what it is, of course. She says, I do not wish to stand alone. Now, Daemon is going through it at Harrenhal. Some lady talking about Viserys wasn't suited for the crown, but you, Daemon, you were made to wear it. And they messing around too. They being sexual. Now, as soon as I saw this woman's face, I was like, I don't know this woman. I mean, it's not one, because Daemon's dreams have always been like, oh, okay, Rhaenyra, Lena, people from his past or whatever. I'm just like, I don't know this woman. I don't know why, like, the first thing that popped into my head, I was just like, what if it's his mama? And I know, like, I was just like, this gives me that it's somebody he's not supposed to be doing this shit with. I don't know how I even did it, but I was hoping with all my heart that I was not right until we got to the end of the scene, and she called Daemon her son. I was like, yep, there we go. Of course. And I just, like I said, I think it's because there were, in his dreams, we recognized all the women. This one, I didn't recognize. I was like, they about to do something nasty. I already knew. I was like, the showrunner's about to do something disgusting. I already know it. I was like, I'm not even, this is mom or some shit. And I was right. I hate that I was right. Like, I get y'all trying to do shock factor and, oh, it's really weird, and Daemon's issues with his mama and Aemon's issues with his mama too. And like, I get it, but y'all, I don't know. Don't do that shit again. Don't do that shit. Matter of fact, y'all need to take Daemon ass out of Harrenhal. Y'all don't know what y'all doing with him in there. I don't know if he's asleep or awake right now. Y'all just hurry up. He need to get back to Rhaenyra really quick, because y'all don't know what y'all doing over there. I don't know. It's not. Y'all thought y'all ate that and it didn't give me nothing. Sir Simon gonna talk about, oh, well, is the duck not to your liking? Girl, if you don't move? Like, they talk about some goose. I'm like, girl, y'all food looks so nasty. Here go Alice Rivers staring at Daemon staring him down like, boy, I know you having some messed up ass dreams right now, all because of me. Daemon ain't hungry, girl. I wouldn't be either. They talking about William Blackwood bringing House Bracken to heal and also Rook's Rest. So yeah, Daemon's just like, prepare the castle. We're getting an army. Simon's like, all right, so you telling us to do all this work and get all this castle together and all this shit, but we're broke. Larry snatched up all the coins, sent it to the King's Landing. We're broke. Daemon's like, wait, y'all broke? And Simon Strong's like, bitch, the fuck y'all what do you mean, girl? You're the Targaryen. I thought y'all bitches was dripping in coin. The fuck y'all looking at me for? I'm not in the royal family. Simon's like, girl, I thought y'all the ones rocking around here like Bill Gates and Oprah and shit. Like, bitch, y'all the royal family. What you looking at me for? You see that we got bats and drainage problems at Harrenhal. It's raining inside. Like, what you talking about? Why don't you call Rhaenyra? Damon's like, girl, no. I don't want her to open up her purse. I'm gonna swipe my own card. He go for his Visa. He go for his fucking black card, bitch. He's like, bitch, my black card is sitting in the pouch on Caraxe's saddle. Just give me some moments real quick. I'm gonna go get my card. I'm gonna check my account. And then I'm gonna swipe that shit. We don't need Rhaenyra. Damon's like, girl, I'm gonna do that shit myself. And it's the same thing that Rhaenyra had said to Mysaria. I love it. But Daemon's just like, call me the king, leave the consort out. Simon Strong's just like, girl, you're definitely consort, but whatever. You got corrections out there. I'm not trying to get burnt up. So the Maester is giving Alicent the rundown like, girl, Aegon is screwed. Even if we treat him for everything we can see, there's so much that we don't probably at this point. He might not ever wake up. Alicent says, hey, guess what? We need to name a regent. She puts herself forth, and they're just like, girl, get real. She tried to prevent Aemond from being regent, I should say, talking about his lack of restraint. But I mean, girl, you knew they were going to name Aemond as regent. Stop playing. I hate when Alicent acts dumb because unfortunately, she's not dumb. She just makes dumbass decisions and then acts like she couldn't see the shit coming. Larys brings up a good point, talking about if we crown a woman of our own in response to Rhaenyra wanting the throne and all that, then that would make us obvious hypocrites. And Alicent is acting gagged, but I'm just like, girl, this is the misogyny that you weaponize against everybody else being weaponized against you, girl. This is the sexism, girl, that you act like wasn't there being weaponized against you. Now, real quick, I get that the show is trying to do this thing where it's like Alicent is being, like I said, dragged by the same misogyny that she weaponizes against others. But if we're talking about lore, you know, this scene wouldn't even be a conversation, really. Like, a non-Targaryen queen mother would literally have zero legitimate claims to the Iron Throne. Like, it's like zero that anyone would take seriously. That shit would almost automatically go to Aemon unless, like, you know, Daemon, Viserys' brother, was also on the green side and they had to choose between them. But it's like automatically that shit would go to Aemon. So yeah, Aemon becomes regent. He's just like, hey girl, what's the tea? He talking about closing the gates to King's Landing since people keep fleeing because of the blockade. Everybody's like, girl, we need some bread. We need some meat. Aemon's like, y'all ain't gonna leave a ghost town here for me to rule. I need to rule over some people. Alicent here seems like she's going to blow a fuse. Like all of it's just coming down upon her, and she's realizing how locked out of power she is on the Green's own council, right? Especially now that her father gone. You know, Aegon is burnt toast. And Aemon is definitely not going to relinquish these reins of power. You know, this was his whole goal the whole time. So Hugh Hammer's wife wants to go to Tumbleton because the block is getting real hot in King's Landing. But sis, if you knew what I knew about Tumbleton, you wouldn't want to go over there, mama. That's all I'm going to say about that. No spoilers, but girl, she's talking about Tumbleton. Damn. I'd be like, sis, you want to go to Paris? You want to go to New York or anything like LA somewhere? Like, you want to go to Tumbleton? Ooh, girl. But that's where her brother's at, so it makes sense. Hugh's like, you'd have me turn beggar, and wifey's like, well, there's no need to turn into something that we already are, babes. We are beggars. What are you talking about? Have you been paid for the work you've done for the king? Hugh then cites what the king said, that they'd, you know, get paid eventually, but my boy, your king came back to King's Landing laid out in a box. A Payless DSW box, shoebox. Okay? But the wife is just like, girl, this shit don't make no sense. And then we switch to the next scene. Alicent goes to Cole and it's just like, you know what Aemon is, what he's become somehow. And this is the second time you done said this shit, what he's become, you know what Aemon is. Like, and she's just like, how could you do this? Like, to me, I'm just like, girl, please. You talking about Aemon like, oh, what he has somehow become. Girl, ain't you his mama? Like, you're so confused as to how he's become what he's become, girl. Like, get out of my face. So Alicent then essentially says to Cole, so you're only loyal when you're chewing on this puss at night? Like, that's the only time that I can depend on you for anything? And she's really mad that she didn't get chosen as regent. I'm just like, girl, what the fuck did you think this was? Like, you were operating within the patriarchy. Like, what did you think this was, right? But Cole was just like, girl, you don't understand. Men were on fire. Their armor melted. Like, I'm not playing with these dragons. If they say Aemon is next, then Aemon is next. Okay, real quick, to me, Alicent and Cole are the same kind of stupid because Cole is acting shocked here about the absolute devastation of Dragon Battle. And I'm just like, my boy, what did you expect when you brought fire-breathing reptiles to the battlefield? It's just like him acting so gagged and shocked. Oh my God, they were on fire. Well, yeah, because you've seen what happens when bitches say Dracarys, Cole. Stop acting stupid. Either way, Cole is like, well, we got to do terrible shit now. Do you really want to be in charge of that? Like, do you really want to? Alicent was like, well, I didn't ask to be spared from all this. And by the way, don't say my government name in public. And she moves and she walks away. Alicent, you're losing power and you're flailing and it looks very stupid on you. Don't talk about, I didn't give you permission to say my name in public. You see how stupid you sound, girl? People are going to definitely be doing things without your permission, without your, in this shitty man's world that you've tried to weaponize against Rhaenyra and everybody else. They're definitely not going to be listening to you. Being called by your government name is the least of your problems right now. So Hugh Hammer and a bunch of other small folk are trying to leave, but of course Aemon had the gates closed, and they're just like, wait, Aemon? I thought Aegon was protector of the realm. What's going on? And it's just like, girl, you ain't getting that money. Hugh, you're not getting that money, babes. I need that money. The crowd is chanting, we want meat. And I'm just like, yeah, girl, me too, sis. My gay ass wants to meet too. You are not special. Jace arrives at the twins and we get to see Vermax for like 5 seconds. And I was like, okay, whatever. I would have loved to see him land and intimidate the people with the dragon. Like, that's the whole point. Like, that we want to see it, but whatever. They was like, girl, we spent all the budget on episode 4. Y'all gonna have to wait till the finale. I hate that. Oh, I hate that. So they're telling Jace that Lord Grover Tully has not declared for Rhaenyra. They're just like, girl, we're scared of Vhagar, so you gonna have to offer us some protection. He's just like, you scared of Vhagar when Vermax can chop you up right now. He said he offers them protection, and not only that, he said, and I'm gonna give you the protection of Daemon. I'm like, oh shit, you talking for Daemon, Jace? Jace said he will do as his queen commands, and I'm like, well, yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, yeah, for the most part, yeah. But Jace, you really talking tough, Jace. Like, you talking with your chest out. Jace's chest was out this whole episode, bitch. So they want Harrenhal. Jace says that he will give it to them if they bend the knee. Now, Daemon's over here hearing shit while he's chopping wood with his bare hands. Harrenhal got him so freaked out that he's doing yard work around the house. Like, he ain't got no servants and handmaid, whatever. Like, he's doing it with his bare hands out here. Now, while Alice sits and talks with Daemon, she's like, I hear news on the wind, not by no ravens. I hear the terrors of war. He's like, look, don't blame me. The Brackens had their chance to do what I required. Alice is just like, well, guess what? The men who serve you will hate you, girl. Is that the kind of army that you want to raise? But Daemon's like, well, I'll treat them fairly once they bend the knee. I'm just like, Daemon, you sound so... like, once I beat their ass, take their fucking wives and kids and do all kind of barbaric acts, I'll treat them nicely. And it's just like, Alice is like, I'm sure your tactics are approved by the queen, are they not? Very sarcastic like. And Daemon's like, girl, look, they look to a man for strength. Y'all already know, everybody knows Rhaenyra can't do it. Better it be me than the High Tower. She says that Rhaenyra is welcome to take her place by his side, king and queen ruling together. Then Alice is just like, it's a pity that you ain't never known your mama, right? But your dreams about her seem to be pretty vivid, don't they? I was just like, this entire thing is a mess. Just get Daemon S out of Harrenhal. Get him out of Harrenhal. Then a message comes through saying that the Blackwoods overwhelmed the Brackens and that they bent the knee. Now, I love this conversation between Baela and Corlys. Corlys says, my castle is a tomb, empty and haunted. I'm just like, damn, bro, it really is. I'm so sorry. But Baela was just like, wow, you really went around the world loading up on riches and all this, all your voyages, and it was all for Rhaenys. And girl, Corlys couldn't even take that one. He almost cried with that shit. So she brings him what Rhaenyra sent, of course, and Rhaenyra wishes to name Corlys Hand of the Queen. But he was like, even the death of my wife doesn't content Rhaenyra. Oh God, and he drinking too. It's just like, oh, he's down bad. And then Baela was just like, wait a minute, this is a sign of her great esteem and respect. Like, you're coming to the Oval Office. Like, you don't want that. Corlys was just like, girl, please just move. I'm going to just sail west and disappear forever. And Baela was just like, girl, well, wouldn't be the first time. I was like, damn, Baela, you reading his ass. Baela was reading his ass. He's like, you messed yourself up and those who loved you doing that tired shit. Baela was like, Rhaenys chose to go to Rook's Rest of her own volition. She died with honor in Dragonfire the same way that I want to, the same way her daughter, my mama, did. You can do whatever you want, but as for me, I'm gonna make sure Rhaenyra ascends the throne like Rhaenys wanted. Baelor said, I'm not playing around with you. Corlys thought she was so badass in that moment that right then he said, wait a minute, you could be my heir. Like, stop playing. You're my heir, just like Rhaenys wanted. But she was just like, look, I'm Targaryen. I am blood and fire. You got to give that shit to someone who is salt and sea. You got to give that to someone who is Valerion, of House Valerion. So Rhaenyra summoned Sir Alfred's corny, stinky ass and was like, look, you're right. We need Daemon. So take your ass to Harrenhal. And at first, Sir Alfred was like, oh, well, damn, you trying to get me off the council, girl. You could have just sent me a pink slip or fired me. You had to send me into the jaws of Harrenhal. Like, and Rhaenyra was like, nah, like, you serve my father well, and I know you hate the Greens. So go and reason with Daemon, find out his state of mind and his intentions, whether he means to raise a host for me or for himself. And Sir Alfred kind of like jumps at the idea that Daemon would ever like dare to try to do that. And Rhaenyra was like, girl, I don't know what's going through this man's head at this point, and y'all already know how crazy Daemon is. Just go check on that nigga for me, please. Like, stop playing with me. Rhaenyra, stop playing with me. And I'm just like, okay, I guess this is a good use of like Sir Alfred's ass, like make him useful while also getting him the fuck out your face. But I don't know, like, Sir Alfred, you've been popping off too much. Like, I would have at least threatened death. I'm so sorry. I would have threatened him like with my dragons or something, because we got to keep you in line. Either way, I don't trust these loose cannons. Rhaenyra Council need to be much tighter than it is right now. Like, it need to be much more in sync. I'm so sorry. I don't trust none of it. I don't trust none of it. So here go Daemon at Harrenhal. He hears footsteps that wake him up, and then a knock at the door. And now I'm at this point where I'm just like, is Daemon dreaming? Is he not? He finally confronts them. He's just like, girl, y'all woke me up. Y'all should not be waking up no king. But the River Lords are just like, look, y'all burned our livestock, our churches, our fields. Y'all went after our children and women. It was just barbaric acts, Then Laena shows up and says, a terrible war is being fought on this land. Have you looked after our girls? I'm just like, okay. But yeah, they basically tell him, look, know this, that the Riverlands are an old place watched closely by the eyes of the old gods and the new. They said, we shall not raise our banners for a tyrant. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, can you blame them? You came in there and just started R-wording they wives and women and children. Like, girl, what did you expect, Daemon? Now, I love this shot of Daemon stressed out and how it switches to a shot of Rhaenyra stressed out. And in both shots, they're each looking into a fire at a fireplace. I love how the fire in general gives Targaryens comfort in their rage and anxiety. It always, like, they be staring into that fire like they Melisandre. So Rhaenyra, we find out that Rhaenyra's lady or whatever finds a way into King's Landing off of Mysaria's name, and she meets up with the girl that Aegon R-worded. So we're gonna see what comes of that. Corlys here is contemplating this damn Hand of the Queen position. It seems like he'll accept it. Aemond is staring out at the Iron Throne, and Helaena catches him like, was it worth the price? And I'm sure Aemond is just like, girl, yes, it definitely was. Yes, it definitely was. Now, we switched to Aegon. This part was crazy. I mean, his face is burnt up. He's struggling to breathe. Like, it seems like the smallest gasps require a lot of effort from him. And Alicent is just going through it. She touches his face, but she leaves before she could hear him say mummy. And I'm like, yo, y'all absolutely obliterated Aegon this season. If he wasn't such a weirdo R-word, if he wasn't such a sexual assaulter, girl, maybe I would have some more pity in my heart for his ass. But I'm just like, yo, Aegon, like, why did you got on that you got on Sunfire drunk as hell. Sunfire thought she was going sightseeing and shit, bruh. She ended up in a hole, like, she ended up getting jumped, like, you know what I mean? That's crazy. So Rhaenyra here was reading about Visenya and Vhagar, one of Aegon the Conqueror's sisters, of course, and their dragon. Now, as many hints as y'all are dropping from Aegon's conquest, we need it. We need it.
Here, I love how Jace is giving Rhaenyra a hard time and just going off and doing what he feels is required, just like young Rhaenyra was stressing Viserys out. Remember when she went by herself on the dragon to go get that egg from Daemon when she was young? Rhaenyra was like, how's the mood at the twins since you didn't think I knew you left to go up there? And Jace kind of smirks a little bit. I love their relationship. I love the relationship between Jace and Rhaenyra because they're just they're just as fiery and they're very hard lovers, right? This is one of the reasons why they're even having this kind of fight or just discussion. Because Rhaenyra is so obsessed with protecting Jace that she don't want him to do shit. And Jace is so obsessed with protecting his mama that he's like, bitch, I need to go out there to protect us, protect you, protect our claim. So I really loved watching them talk it out. So he just tells her the tea. They want Harrenhal at War's End. Rhaenyra's like, I'm proud of you. And Jace's like, well, it seems that he's like, thanks for saying that, but it seems like you're angry though. And Rhaenyra's like, girl, you're mad that you can't go do whatever the hell you want. Me too. I'm mad too. I'm a dragon rider as well, but I must wait here, sending others to fight and die in my name. Like, I cannot stand it. She's like, I didn't give you permission to go. And Rhaenyra's just walking around here, pacing and just moving one book to one table, then moving it to another. Like, she don't know what she do. She's walking around here. She's just so mad. And Jason's like, well, you can't boss my ass around. You ain't sent me to do anything. And Rhaenyra's like, okay, so what if Aemon comes for you on Vhagar? Like, then what? Jason's like, all right, your point's taken, but what about Daemon? Rhaenyra looked at him like, girl, don't you say his name. Don't you open your mouth about Daemon. She's like, if all else fails, it is I who must go out there and fight. Aemon is not going to wait for long to press his advantage. And she's right about that. Then she says Vhagar is big, but Syrax is quicker. And Jace is like, well, Meleys is the fastest dragon. Meleys was the fastest dragon. And Rhaenyra was like, well, girl, Meleys went up against 2 dragons and one of them is dead. So like, or one of them is really fucked up. So like, let's not. But I'm just like, like I said, both of them want to protect each other. Jace kind of sees how preposterous it is for her to be like, well, I'm just going to take Syrax, spoiled ass who don't even hunt or anything, and and go fight big ass Vhagar. Like, that is crazy. But she's like, well, shall I wait here for destruction or actually fight for my birthright? I love Emma's acting. Here, it was just so good. Rhaenyra was like, well, I need dragons. Like, at the end of the day, we just need some firepower. And Jace was like, we have dragons, we just need riders. And Jace is like, well, we could use people who aren't in the royal family but still have Targaryen blood. And Rhaenyra was like, wait a minute now, this is a crazy ass idea, but like, we do have the records. We could see the Valyrian histories say only dragon lords can ride dragons, but Jace was like, girl, we wrote those histories. So it seems like, well, we already know the blood of old Valyria, Valyrians, Targaryens, those are the ones who can ride dragons. They don't have to be lords or anything. So we're going to see the dragon seeds try and tame these dragons next episode, try and bond with these dragons. And I promise you, it's going to be more than a few deaths that we going to see, girl, because it ain't just anybody who can get up there and hop on a dragon. Like, it ain't just anybody. So we going to see. We going to see what's going on. Now, thank y'all so much for watching this long-ass video. Oh, my goodness. I love y'all so much. Please leave your comments. Also, check out the playlist that I have in my description box for all my reactions to Season 1 and also Season 2. Thank you for checking out the video, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace. All right, y'all, make sure that you're going to www.zaraxia.com. When you join the wait list there on the site, you will be the first to be notified when I drop my sequel. Also, you'll immediately get chapter 1 of my upcoming sequel of the upcoming book sent to your email as a PDF. So check that out. Also, this is a different excerpt from my upcoming book, so you definitely want to pause to read if you're trying to get your life. Keep in mind that this upcoming book, this sequel, is following up the first book that is already released called Zaraxia, Wrath of the God King. I released it a few years ago. It was my introduction to writing, fantasy and stuff. So just go easy on me. But either way, as you can see here, it's given 4.9 stars. It's given 4.9 stars. So yeah, check out Zoraxia Wrath of the God King while you wait for Zoraxia The Vengeance of Coldwind, right? And go to Zoraxia.com, sign up, join the waitlist, get your free chapter. Thank you so much.